learn about. I'm still like in the process of learning all that stuff too in one of my classes. But posting online, one of my teachers said, I know everyone uses DeviantArt. He tells us do not use DeviantArt. I know everyone does it, and it's good because it's like everyone's on there and everyone can see your stuff, but technically when you post on DeviantArt, DeviantArt has the rights to your work, and they can do whatever they want with it if they so choose.
Also, there's an easy way to remove the watermarks that they put on it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like everyone says like, oh, well, I post on DeviantArt. I'm like, oh, well, your stuff's gonna probably get stolen, so or they'll use it for whatever they want. Like if you posted something on there, and let's say they want to use it for an ad, they can use it for an ad, and they can pay you $0 because it's in their terms and conditions. It's worded very weirdly, but it basically says, hey, if you post on our site because we own it, we own your stuff. Which really sucks, which is same with Instagram. It's like any social media like that, it says in the terms and conditions somewhere in there, if you dig deep enough, it says, oh, anything you post on here, yeah, it's ours now, because it's our server. Which is why a lot of people like to get their own pages and post their own stuff. But licensing specifically, or just watermarks in general also, if you're gonna post something online, and the watermark is taking away from your art, just don't put the watermark. If someone really wants to steal your stuff, they're gonna steal it, no matter how many watermarks you put on it. I had my first encounter with somebody tracing over my stuff last year, and it was this big deal, and they ended up apologizing to me because I made it into a big deal, and I was very nice about it. It was a young person, and I said, hey, I know you traced over my thing. I lined it up, and it's line for line, and she tried to tell me, no, I didn't. I'm like, hey, I was young once too. You can just admit that you did it, and this doesn't have to get. I'm not gonna be petty about this. I'm like, just don't do it again. And then a few days later, she ended up messaging me and apologizing and saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. And I said, yeah, just if you're gonna get into art, don't steal people's art, don't trace. It's gonna get you in a lot of trouble, not legally, really, because again, law doesn't really care about artists. But it will get you kicked out of groups. It will get you blacklisted from cons, especially if you decide to sell at cons. And there have been many people who think that they're smart and they're sly and they can steal art and sell it. Yeah, people find out, and then you get blacklisted from every con.
People know each other.
Yeah, especially pony cons. Yeah, all the cons talk to each other. All of us artists talk to each other. We all go to the same places. If we find out that you're stealing something, you're gonna get cut. And that it's happened, I think, to just a few different people I've seen over the past few years of me doing point cons. You see people come every year, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and then I hear things about it, and I'm like, makes sense. But yeah, making money off of other people's stuff, just nothing technically illegal about it, because there's so many different technicalities with appropriation and I altered it so it's mine, but it's just. It doesn't make you look very good to the artist community. And I've seen many people go on Facebook groups and be like, oh, I used a base, I used this, or they try to justify why they took things, but even though it's technically not legal, it doesn't make you a whole lot of friends. So it's best to avoid it. But I don't think I've actually ever registered or licensed anything that I've drawn. I know that whenever you draw something, create anything, it's a copyright, it's yours, but to register it is a whole other process where you officially make it yours.
In the United States, copyright law, even a scribble is instantly copyrighted.
Yeah. And I know that there's so many different things online about people saying oh, this closed species is one of my favorite words. But yeah, there's just so many different things on art groups, and people tend to be a little misinformed about how copyright works a lot of the time. So I tell people it's a good idea to at least, go to a library and read a book about it so you don't look like an idiot online when you're talking about things you don't know about. Yeah, just posting online is probably just a really good thing to, be cautious about, especially when you're trying not to get your stuff stolen. I know there was one girl that went to my university that our professor told us about where she used to draw art from Dark Souls, I think. And turns out her art showed up on a shirt on Amazon, and she had no idea. And it was a bootleg from China or something like that. And they ended up stealing her art off DeviantArt and printing it on shirts. So it happens. And sometimes you just have to, again, the law doesn't care about a lot of things like this. So they just kind of say, oh, I'm sorry. Can't do anything about it. And, yeah.
So do you have your own website where you post things, or do you use any social media?
I usually post, we have a Facebook page, like me and my partner, Alto and Pastel, on Facebook. I post like my art on there if I have like shows coming up, if I have like certain prints I'm gonna do. Sometimes I'll post some on my personal Facebook, but Instagram I don't really post too much unless it's just like a snapshot of like a figure I'm painting. But as far as drawings, I usually like don't post on there because I don't like getting them stolen. But I usually don't even sell things unless it's at cons anyway. But yeah, Facebook usually gets me the most traffic just because if it's people you know, then you can get around a lot faster. I don't even think I use that many other socials, to be honest, because again, time consuming, and there's just there's so many socials, and I end up like downloading a bunch, and I just don't use half of them. Any other questions? All right, I think that's our topic.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I might have missed it. What's your name?
Pastel.
Pastel.
Yeah. But yeah, just making your own money is very, very important. Especially, I tell people, my parents helped me out a little bit in the beginning, but once I could be independent and not ask them for help, they wanted to help me out with my business and getting me started. But once you can be independent, I strongly suggest getting to that place because it's a lot easier to spend somebody else's money, and it's much easier for you to manage your business when it's your money that you earned yourself. And it puts it in perspective too, because I've seen a lot of people who try to run little businesses where it's not their money, it's like their husband's money or their parents' money, and they're just not running their business right at all, and it ends up going to the ground. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when you spend money that you didn't earn. Because when you earn the money and you know how miserable it was to get that money, then you're going to spend it very, very wisely. I'm also an artist who's on a budget all the time, just honestly because I'm independent and I'm freelance, so I have to be on a budget. I go to Goodwill at least once or twice a week to look for supplies. You can get brand new supplies or barely used supplies at Goodwill, Ross. Ross has all brand new supplies. You can get 10 packs of canvases there for $8, and they have a lot of different discount things. And that's what I tell people a lot. I said thrift and discount and coupons, and that's what I do a lot, just because it really helps. Because a lot of people think it doesn't add up, but it does. And Hobby Lobby especially, I bring my coupons all the time. I look for sales because I'm trying to keep my costs down. And especially because I'm also in school and because school supplies are expensive. So yeah, thrifting is definitely a good idea. I've actually started painting figures and selling them I went on eBay and I started buying lots of toys, and I ended up just buying a bunch of them and just looking through them and just making things out of them. I made necklaces out of different G3 My Little Pony toys from McDonald's. I made a bunch of necklaces and jewelry from them. And that's how I kind of started my main medium is recycling things, kind of. I just take things that are from thrift stores or eBay and I just make them into something new, or I sculpt them or paint them. Any other questions? Selling at cons? I know a lot of people do ask me, how do you get into selling at cons? Like I said, talking to a lot of people, just kind of learning how things go. I remember when my first cons, I asked a girl, I said, oh, hey, can I ask you about your button machine? And I said, oh, how much was it? And she told me, it was maybe for the machine and the parts, it was maybe almost $200 altogether just to get a starter set. And I said, is it worth it? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, if you go to a good con, she's like, it pays itself back 5 times over for a show. And I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, oh, okay, I believe you. But yeah, just going up to artists at all different cons, if you just ask them little questions, most of the time they will be more than happy to answer because they've been there too, where they started and they had no idea what to do or no idea where to start. So they're more than happy to help out other people who are also going to start. The cons are also something where I tell people, if you're going to get into being a con artist, everyone's favorite one, it's not easy, and it's a lot of work. And people kind of see it, and they think oh, you can be your own boss, and you can set up your table and sell it and make money. Oh my God, it's so easy. No, it is not. It's a lot of work. You have to dedicate yourself, and you kind of have to pick work over sleep a lot of the time. So yeah, when I started, it was just like slowly but gradually I started at like maybe like little craft shows, but then I found craft shows don't make a whole lot, especially if you're like making certain types of art. And then I started moving up to like little conventions. I started doing pony cons, and then you kind of figure out like where your niche is, I guess. You kind of have to like feel things out. And like I said, just talking to other artists, even just going to conventions and just walking around and observing. I would do that all the time. I would jot down notes. I'd take pictures with my phone of people's displays, of like how they displayed things and how like they would set up their booth and just get ideas. Or even just going on Pinterest and looking up Artist Alley pictures. That's how I looked up a lot of different things and tips for Artist Alley. Also, one more thing is a Facebook group on, a Facebook group. It's Artist Alley International, and everyone on there is anybody who's an artist who sells at conventions or expos, and they post about different vendors that they buy from. If there's vendors who make like, let's say, enamel pins that ends up being like a really bad company, like they'll post on there and say like, oh hey, this is what happened, or people will leave reviews for different places. If people are looking for suggestions, like, oh hey, where do you guys get your prints from? You'll get like 20 responses of people saying, oh, this is where I get mine, this is what the pricing is like. Everyone's pretty nice in there, so it's a good start to join a Facebook group and just get mixed opinions in there. Any other questions before I wrap up? All right, but being an artist, and for me, it's definitely worth it. My parents do not exactly agree 100% on my career choices, but that's their opinion. I like being my own boss. I have tried working for other people creatively, like making ads or doing Photoshop for other people, and it just drives me insane as a person because I like to be in control of my creative work. I like to be in charge of what goes where, what looks like what. And like I said, you just kind of have to find your niche. I tell people just try every medium that you're interested in. If you have a chance to try, even if you just go to the craft store and pick up a kit, like a simple like little like starter kit, where it's like, oh, build your own this or paint your own this, and you just want to try it. That's what I used to do when I was a kid. I just go to Michael's, pick up a kit, and take it home and see if I liked it. And then you kind of find out where your interest is at. Because there's a lot of things that I do now where I never thought I was going to make custom like vinyl toys. I never thought I was going to make dolls. I never thought I was going to do things like that. I thought I was just going to be drawing all the time. But I actually found that I like 3D things more than I actually like illustration. So it's just a matter of getting out there and expanding your horizons. Make sure you're always working somehow, making money, because it's always important, because otherwise you can't really get yourself off the ground unless you have some kind of startup money. And that's just really good general advice. Does anyone have any other questions before? But thank you guys for coming. If you would like a free print, I have prints up here.
Oh. Oh.
So, I'm going to add on to that. We need to figure out your dream job. And who do you think the best one is?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. No. Best pony total. Any pony, yes.
Okay, alright.
Judgment will be applied depending on answer.
See, I think you might have a favorite. So.
Everyone has a favorite.
No, I meant that one right there. Little doormat.
Oh, you like doormat?
No doormat. Someone's lying. And it's that poster right here. It's the same. It's lying.
Alright, as far as the dream job goes, probably something either working with the comics, which I'm actually working towards doing, or 3D animation was my first choice. College expensive. I'm sorry. And as far as favorite pony, I really like Sunburst.
He's good one.
He is a giant dork and he is adorable. And I think he's the only one that's actually kind of taintish.
Spotty, yeah.
Yeah.
Spotty's like, I love spots.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh gosh, okay. Well, dream job, to be honest, I just started vending maybe a couple months ago, and I couldn't be happier with what I'm doing. I want to draw artwork for the rest of my life, and this is getting me there, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. So it probably won't be a job for very long, but you know, if I had to pick something else, it would be making signs, but that's not really what I need to do. I draw it, so graphic design, yeah. So I'm really happy with where I'm at. Smolder is best pony.
Let's see, dream job. I've got I'm kind of open-minded. I don't mind if it ends up working for as a concept artist or in a maybe not a retail store. A weird actor just taking off